This is Mac OS Ken.
Arguments over iPhone expectations, a few Apple hardware stories, and Tim Cook in the land of movers and shakers. It is Wednesday, the 6th of July, 2022. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/MacOSKen. JP Morgan analyst Samik Chatterjee has lowered his expectations for Apple, though not his target nor his rating. Apple 3.0 ran part of a note he wrote late last week. Right now he seems to think everything's fine. A year from now everything will be fine. But that middle bit, that's an interesting place and time with a few voices in the mix. Beyond the near quarter, reads part of his note, the headwinds drive us to lower our revenue and earnings forecast modestly, led by lower volume expectations, iPhone 14 expected to be modestly below iPhone 13, and escalating foreign exchange headwinds. It's that iPhone 14 demand issue that's raising a few voices. Late last week, 9 to 5 Mac ran a highlight of a Digitimes report that said Apple was cutting iPhone 14 orders by 10%. Maybe not surprising. Hashtag in this economy. Except the issue isn't demand. Rather, the piece says the problem is components. According to 9 to 5 Mac, the issue began when Apple's supplier, TSMC, had 3 major customers adjust their orders, worsening the semiconductor situation. With the ongoing shortages, these customers couldn't continue with business as usual. Disbelieving of the Digitimes story is TF International analyst Ming-Chi Kuo. Following word of the order reduction, the analyst spoke up in a series of Twitter posts. The way he sees it, Apple is unlikely to adjust iPhone orders this far out. The company tends to let the phones out first, in his estimation, only then gauging the actual market demand and feedback. In a separate Twitter post, the analyst wrote, if a supply chain issue causes a significant change in the shipment plan of the new iPhones before mass production, Apple usually postpones the orders instead of cutting them. All that said, he is sticking with the same numbers he posted last week. Components enough for 100 million iPhones, with expectations that the people who put them together will put together 90 million iPhone 14s by the end of this year. Getting over the hump that is the near term, while Chatterjee doesn't seem excited about the overall economy through the next several quarters, he is not worried about Apple. While he seems to hint at a hardware slowdown through Apple's fiscal year 2024 thanks to a slower macro, Apple shares will be fine in his estimation, thanks to Apple's ability to raise prices when necessary and its ability to buy back shares. Mr. Chatterjee has an overweight rating on Apple's shares. His price target on the shares is $200. That old gray Mac ain't worth what it used to be. Mac Rumors says Apple has taken a red marker to trade-in prices on existing hardware, reducing the high end of what they will pay out. Offering a few examples, the most Apple will pay for an iPhone 12 Pro Max is $600, down from the $650 it was willing to spend a few days ago. iPhone 12 Pro moves to $500, down from $550 at the top end. The iMac Pro, they will pay up to $1,350, down from $1,500. The iPad Pro, they will pay as much as $555, down from last week's $655. And that list does go on. You can see it for yourself over at Mac Rumors. A correction, I guess, to a story I brought you last week. We had heard word that Apple had raised the price on iPhone in Japan, and that part was correct. The part that was wrong was the part that said it was only the iPhone on which Apple had upped hardware costs. That may have been true at the time, though a piece from iDownload blog says prices for iPad and Apple Watch have also increased in Japan. In fact, as of the iDownload blog writing, the Mac seems to have been the only hardware category that hadn't seen an increase, though the site wouldn't be surprised to see that happen soon. As for why, the site cites a Nikkei Asia piece saying the yen has weakened sharply since the spring. The decrease in the yen's value was so significant that it began to sap Apple's overseas earnings. Reacting to those changes, Apple has decided to pass on those costs to consumers and simply raise prices for its most popular products. That's Nikkei's thinking anyway. Apple seems to have said nothing about the increases, according to iDownload blog. Apple's running a decent discount on Apple TV. That's the hardware, not the streaming service Apple TV Plus. Cult of Mac says the Cupertino company is bundling a $50 gift card with the purchase of an Apple TV 4K or Apple TV HD in the U.S. The deal is online only according to the report and only through next Thursday, the 14th of July. Not a bad deal, though every article I have seen about the offer comes with a big reason one might not want to hit the buy button. According to the cult, Apple is likely running this campaign to clear the existing Apple TV inventory before debuting a new model later this year. Rumors indicate that the next Apple TV could feature a more powerful A14 chip and 4 gigabytes of RAM. An interesting find in Apple's Refurbished store. Mac Rumors ran a piece late last week saying that refurbished Mac Studio models had turned up among Apple's like-new offerings. At the time, the piece says models included one with an M1 Max chip, 10-core CPU, and 24-core GPU for $1,799, down from $1,999 brand new, and one with an M1 Ultra chip, 20-core CPU, and 48-core GPU for $3,599, down from $3,999 brand new. They were available in Canada, the UK, the US, and select European countries. They are not available as of this writing, but the refurbished store is kind of a funny place. Inventory ebbs and flows. There's a place in the refurbished store for Mac Studio. If one sounds cool to you, be on the lookout. The OS update tango continues. A couple of pieces from Apple Insider tracked the progress on Tuesday. One had Apple seeding the 5th betas of iOS, iPadOS, and tvOS 15.6 to developers, along with watchOS 8.7. The other had Apple hitting dev types with the 5th beta of macOS Monterey 12.5. If they are not out to Apple's public testing program today, I will not eat my hat, but I will be moved to utter such old-timey phrases as land of Goshen and, well, don't that beat all. On the heels of a recent price hike, news of a new gift for new subscribers to the Apple Music Student Plan. We heard last week of a price rise for students in Canada, the UK, and the US. Prices went up $1 a month in the North American countries, from $4.99 to $5.99, while in the UK they ticked up £1, moving from $4.99 to $5.99. This will likely not remove the sting from that, with Canadians getting doubly hosed. A piece from Cult of Mac says Apple is giving new Apple Music student subscribers free Beats Flex earphones worth $69.99. The offer is only for eligible students in the US and the UK. More like Canada, high and dry, am I right? Terms don't sound too onerous. According to the cult, you need to make your first monthly payment to become eligible to get the Beats Flex earphones. They cannot be redeemed during the initial 1-month trial period because, duh. Folks taking advantage will get an email within 30 days of eligibility. Happy listening, one and all. Word on the street has Tim Cook headed to the mountains this week. Apple Insider highlights a Deadline report that has Apple CEO making his way to the annual Allen & Company Sun Valley Media Retreat. For those not familiar, the piece says investment bank Allen & Company has been hosting a Sun Valley Media Retreat for 40 years, only missing 2020 because of the coronavirus. Leaders of major media outfits attend the mix of social event and conference, and the retreat is known for being where significant mergers are first discussed. Execs from Sony, Fox, Warner Brothers, and Paramount will be in attendance. Others expected include Tesla's Elon Musk, Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg, Amazon's Andy Jassy, and Google's Sundar Pichai. One imagines Apple's head of services, Eddie the Butler Q, will be there as well. Apple Insider says Cook and Q have both hit the retreat since 2019. And finally today, the Presidential Medal of Freedom is set to be handed out tomorrow, Thursday, the 7th of July, and Apple co-founder Steve Jobs will be a recipient. Yes, they know. According to the White House press release, the Presidential Medal of Freedom is the nation's highest civilian honor, presented to individuals who have made exemplary contributions to the prosperity, values, or security of the United States, world peace, or other significant societal, public, or private endeavors. The medal will be awarded to 17 people this week. Among the recipients are Olympian and advocate Simone Biles, former Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords, Gold Star father Khizr Khan, former U.S. Senator John McCain, yes, they know, Denzel Washington, and Steve Jobs. Of Apple's former CEO, the White House says his vision, imagination, and creativity led to inventions that have and continue to change the way the world communicates, as well as transforming the computer, music, film, and wireless industries. Though the press release does not mention where people can view the ceremony, one imagines it will be available, live or later, on the YouTube channel for the White House. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSCan. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. Info at macoscan.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.